Okay, BI translators, this is the very first day, Monday at 1 o'clock, called the Getting Things Done talk, but it's also the introduction talk where we first get together and get to meet everyone. So we're going to get going. The first slide I'm going to put up will be say in 5 minutes we're going to start. Then the next slide will be these details. Everyone should get a thermos, a band for their thermos if they want it. If they don't want it, they don't need to take it. A hat, everyone needs a hat. They don't have to take our hat. The hat will be required in some factory visits, so you always will need to have a hat with you. You don't need to wear it all the time. Just make sure you have a hat with you. A name tag, the name tag goes on your right-hand side. It's magnetic. And the last thing is you need a hearing piece for the audio, for the transmission, and we will explain how all that works and we will test it. So the very first thing everyone needs to know is we are a team. We need to function as a team 100% of the time. If we have one weak link, one person that's not engaged, it affects the entire team. So it is very important that everyone works and operates smoothly as a team when you're in Japan. Next thing is name tags. Always go on the right-hand side. We will explain to you why, because when you shake someone's hand, you're looking at their right-hand side. You're not looking at their left-hand side. So the process is much better if everyone always has it on the right-hand side. And everything in Japan is about process. Everything we're going to do on this trip is about process. So we're going to start with the most basic, simple thing. The name tags always go on the right-hand side. Make sure you always have them on. Dress for the weather. We're in a cold climate right now, because it's wintertime when I'm recording this, so you'll always need a coat. We're going to be walking around outside a lot of times. Make sure you are prepared with a hat, a scarf, or whatever you need. And if possible, always keep your name tag on the outside so I know who you are, so I get to know you. The next thing we're going to do is your story in 30 seconds. We want everyone to briefly tell me their name, how long they've been at the BI group, and their favorite sport or hobby. So for instance, I'm Paul. I've been working at the BI group for the last 7 years in Kazakhstan. My favorite sport is kite surfing, but I also love to play guitar. There you go, 30 seconds. You see the clock there, click away, and then we'll just click through everybody and get a quick introduction on everyone. So everyone's kind of knows who everybody is, and a little bit of background. But we're also, after that, Mommy's gonna do hers, and Mommy's going to give you an example of what that sounds like.
Hi, I'm Japanese. My name is Mami. My name is Mami, and Hi, I'm Mami, and I lived in Tokyo, and I was born in Hokkaido and wanted to learn English, so flew to Indiana, and for university I went to Canada, and I wanted to learn another language, so I moved to Seoul, Korea, worked and learned how to do the lean tours, and here I am. Hi, I'm Mami, and I was born and raised in Hokkaido and moved to United States to learn English at the high school, then moved to Canada for university, then wanted to learn the third language before graduating, so I moved to Seoul, Korea, learned the language, and got a job in Korea. Then I start working and leading the lean tours since then. My name is Mami Takeda, and I was born and raised in Hokkaido, then moved to United States to learn English, and then moved to Canada for university, then wanted to learn the third language before graduating, so moved to Seoul, Korea, and learned how to manage the lean tours there and start bringing Korean executives to Japan. Hi, my name is Mami, and I was born in Hokkaido, Japan, and raised, then moved to United States for high school to learn English, then moved to Canada for university. Then before graduating from university, I wanted to learn the third language, so moved to Korea, Seoul, and got a job also, and I learned how to organize and lead the lean tours and start bringing Korean executives to Japan. My name is Mami Takeda. I was born in Hokkaido and raised, then moved to United States to learn English, then moved to Canada for university. Then I wanted to learn the third language before graduating from university, so moved to Korea, Seoul, then start learning how to lead lean tours. Then I brought Korean executives to Japan since then. My name is Mami Takeda. I was born and raised in Hokkaido, then moved to United States for high school to learn English, and moved to Canada for university. But before graduating from university, I wanted to learn the third language, so moved to Seoul, Korea. Then I got a job and start learning how to lead the lean tours. Then I brought Korean executives to Japan.
Okay, so you're going to do it again, but listen to me. You're giving way too much. My name's Mommy, not Mommy Takeda. We're only one first name. I went to school and learned English, high school in the United States, went to college in Canada. You don't need to tell them I didn't finish. I went to college in Canada.
Before finishing university.
No, you don't need to tell them before finishing. Then I went to high school in the United States. I went to college in Canada. Then I went to college in Korea, learned the Korean language, then started. You don't need, you just get to hit the highlights. I learned English in high school. I went to Canada in college. I went to Korea in college, learned the Korean language. So I know 3 languages. Just simple. You ready?
But university, I didn't go to university to learn Korean. It sounds like I'm just learning the language only.
Whatever you want. Do whatever you want.
That's what I did.
It's not good enough. It's not good enough. Do it again.
Why not?
Do it again.
Because it's not on the map? What is it?
No, because you want to stay with the flow. Try it again. Do it.
You was fucking flow.
Come on, go.
Hi, I'm Mami and was born and raised in Hokkaido, Japan. Then went to high school in Indiana State. Then moved to Canada for university. Then went another university in Korea and learned the language and finished the school. Then I got a job in Korean companies and start learning and leading the lean. I'm Mami, was born and raised in Hokkaido, Japan. Then went to high school in Indiana to learn English. Then went to Canada for university. Then went to another university in Korea and learned the language and start learning how to lead the lean tours. Then I brought Korean executives to Japan to do the tours.
So you understand what we're doing? Everyone, 60 seconds, really quick. So you understand what we're doing? Everyone, just a quick. So everyone understands what we're doing? Your name, how long you've been at the BI group, and your favorite sport or hobby, whatever you want. Now, there are 4 words that we need to learn. They're very important. Ohayo gozaimasu, which means good morning. Arigato gozaimasu, which means thank you. Sumimasen, which means I'm sorry or excuse me. And konnichiwa. So we're going to practice these words. Konnichiwa means hello. And now the next thing is make sure you take notes. I'm going to show you my note-taking system. It's very important to not waste this opportunity to track everything. So for the past 23 years I've been coming to Japan. All my notes are very, very carefully recorded, and it's amazing how I've got them documented. So I'll show you what that looks like right now. I open up Notability, I type in the word Japan, and I have all of my notes organized under the subtitle of Japan. You can see I can scroll through. So for any subject that I took notes on for the last 23 years, I've got all these notes carefully organized in the system. Now, you don't have to use this system. You can also use Notes, the app on the iPhone, or whatever app you want. The point is I have things very carefully organized so I can retrieve these notes in a second. And the nice thing about the Notes app is it allows you to embed photographs and videos very simply and very easily. So you can see I have something called their Japan Coach, and underneath that I have all these photographs. I can move them around, manipulate them very easily, And my favorite part about this is I can take these photographs, put them into the note, delete them off of my camera roll, and they're still in the note. So I've got everything organized. So when I go back to my team, when you go back to your team in Kazakhstan, you're actually going to have an entire presentation already put together if you're snapping photographs, videos, and documenting everything as you go. It's very important. Now we're going to start the essence of the talk. GTD. What the heck is GTD? You came all the way to Japan to learn about Japan, not about some guy named David Allen and getting things done. Well, I'll explain to you why I'm doing this. I usually teach this lesson on the very last day on Friday, and I did this, and when Aiden was on the bus, he said, Paul, you need to teach this. The very first thing, all of our people need to know how to do this system because it's so incredible. So I said, Aiden, no problem. I'll teach it the first thing. So this has nothing to do with Japan. It has everything to do with being efficient and being on top of all the details. So we're going to teach this now. It'll take me 20 minutes. Here we go. GTD. What is it? It's a great lean process. Now, for the daily details of life. So you have all this stuff coming at you. And the way GTD works is GTD is a philosophy, a way of thinking. To do is the application or the tool or the list manager that you use to manage all this stuff. And why is GTD important? Because this is the main concept right here. Because your brain is for the purpose of having ideas. It is not for the purpose of holding ideas. So all day long, you have all this stuff going on in your brain. You need to learn to capture it and get it on a list so that your mind is free. And the great equalizer in life is something called time. You get 24 hours, I get 24 hours. What I get done in my 24 hours may be entirely different than yours. And the problem is you got all this stuff coming at you. So every day you have do this, do that, you've got to accomplish this, you got to accomplish that. What are you going to do with all that stuff? Do you have a system for managing that stuff? Most people do not. This is what their systems look like. There's many, many areas in their life where things get piled up and nothing ever gets done. David Allen, the author of Getting Things Done, describes this as ambient anxiety, this sense that, there's all this stuff you got to do and you really don't know where it is, what you need to do, and when you need to do. So if you can get rid of this ambient anxiety, you're going to be way ahead. So the problem is you got your brain here and you got all this stuff up there. And so David Allen has this great video that kind of gives you an overview of that. And here it is.
Так я разговаривал с Дэвидом Алленом, автором книги о том, как быть более организованным. И он спросил меня, зачем тебе календарь? Потому что без календаря я не буду понимать, где я должен быть в конкретное время. Карна, вы не можете управлять всей этой сложностью. Так же, как и сложностью, оставшейся в вашей жизни. Календарь, возможно, управляет 3 четвертями всех ваших обязательств и тем, что вы действительно должны отслеживать. Другие 96% говорит Дэвид, что-то вроде наших целей, проектов, списка дел, звонков, которые мы должны сделать. Все эти и другие вещи мы просто позволяем нашему мозгу пытаться отслеживать. И, конечно, такой подход обречен на провал, потому что мозг будет напоминать тебе о задачах, которые ты не сможешь сделать в 3 часа ночи. Хорошо, если бы это было что-то одно, но умножьте это на 1000 и представьте, какой шум идет у вас в голове. Поэтому Дэвид считает, что нам нужна новая система, которая улавливает этот шум и успокаивает ваш мозг. Первый шаг в этой системе – все записывать. Поэтому запись – это первый важный шаг, в рамках которого я должен определить именно те вещи, которые действительно важны. Иначе моя психика будет все время повторять. Не забудь, словно обезьяна в моей голове. Но просто записывать недостаточно. В списке большинства людей мы можем заметить такие вещи, как мама или банк, но вы должны сделать следующий шаг. Теперь вы должны уточнить, каков конкретный результат касательно этого действия. Какое конкретное действие по вашей маме, какое конкретное действие по банку. Должен ли я сделать телефонный звонок и побродить по интернету, чтобы что-то узнать? Вам нужно припарковать эти результаты, иначе они снова вернутся в вашу голову. И последние 2 шага, о которых говорит Дэвид, это регулярный обзор того списка задач, которые вы зафиксировали, и, конечно же, их исполнение. И самый большой секрет в Getting Things Done не только в закрытии задач, но и в том, что теперь у меня есть свобода и ясность в голове, что позволит моему вниманию идти туда, куда оно хочет идти, или туда, куда я его направляю. И когда вы перестанете держать все эти задачи и проекты в своей голове и утихомирите болтливых обезьян, то вы обнаружите, что у вас увеличилась способность думать и быть более творческим.
So there you go. Getting rid of the monkey mind. It's a literal magic show. When you figure this out, it's like applying magic to your life. So quick overview, over 2 million copies sold, 30 languages, and 3,000 people taught every month. So the top executives and leaders in the world are doing this system. So my story and how I learned it. Bob Hendrickson, Director of Manufacturing for Steelcase, responsible for over 10,000 people and billions of dollars worth of business. Bob and I were on a ski trip. He picked me up in a private jet, and we flew to Montana, and we went skiing. And Bob told me, hey, I'll teach you getting things done. And I said, well, I know a little bit about it, Bob, but I'm not really good at it. Now, Bob's an extraordinary person, responsible for all these people, and yet he's a great athlete, and he does skiing. He does all kinds of great things. So how does Bob manage all this stuff? How does he manage being responsible for so much work and business and people, and he still has time to do all this stuff? And he's just a superstar. He jumps out of planes, he wingsuits, he's a kite surfer. Every time you turn around, Bob's doing something exciting, and he always has time to do all this stuff, as well as manage this massive company and business. So I would think most people would want to know what Bob's doing. So I learned what Bob was doing over the course of 3 days, and it changed my life. And today I'm going to show you what that is and what Bob taught me. So the idea behind it is that every day is a great day. All of us have had those days where we're highly productive and we get a lot of stuff done and we feel wonderful about life. We just think, oh my gosh, this is just fantastic. I got so much done. How about if every day you felt like that? Because every day your system supported that level. The next thing is, our target is we want to be totally present. So you'll notice that on this trip, I'm going to be completely engaged with you. I'm not going to be on my phone, preoccupied with messages that I'm getting from hundreds of people around the world every day, but I'm going to be totally present. Why? Because I'm relaxed, because I have a trusted system that supports me, and I don't ever have to worry about not getting things done and things flowing in my life. So here we go. We want to be totally present. We want to have a great day, and all that happens in the context of having a great system. So here is a quick overview of how getting things done works. There are usually 5 or 6 things. I've reduced it to just 3. The first one is capture. Everything that comes into your brain, you immediately capture it on a to-do list or an inbox, and you never miss. So if I'm thinking to myself right now as I'm speaking to you, oh, I got to do something, I would literally stop and capture it, take a split second, and go right back to what I'm doing so that I'm not preoccupied or my monkey mind is not going crazy. So capture everything in my inbox. And if it takes 2 minutes or less, I'm actually going to do it right then. So if I see something I can fix on my presentation with just a couple clicks right in front of you, I'm going to do it right then. I'm not going to wait. So 2 minutes or less is the rule. You do it now. Otherwise, you capture and put it on a list. The next thing is to organize everything. So we say about every 2 hours, and you want to be constantly taking these things you capture and organizing them on lists according to the trigger point, where you do the work. So if when you walk into your office, for me, that's FastCap. If I'm in front of my computer, if I drive into my driveway, if I have miscellaneous things, I've got all these little folders according to trigger points. So this is the way I do everything, and I organize everything. We jokingly say about every 2 hours, as many times as you go to the bathroom. You should be randomly looking at these things and then organizing them appropriately. And so now you can look at my lists and how things are done. I've got FastCap here. I've got my daily stuff. I've got a checklist of all the different checklists for all the different things I do. I have one for current projects. I have a list for Kazakhstan, for Russian words. I have my Japan folders. Everything is organized when I'm on the bus. My keynote improvements that I need to make, a bus checklist, a hotel intro. The intro that I'm doing right now, I have an actual point-by-point thing I go through. When I get on the bus, I make sure I have all these things so that there's no way I get on the bus and go, oh my gosh, I forgot the HDMI cable, or I forgot the battery backup, or I forgot anything. The hotel intro, these are all the things I'm going through with you. I'm driving down the road. I'm thinking to myself, oh, really, I need to go over that with the intro with the Russian teams. I instantly stop, capture it, then organize that onto this list, and then systematically go through it so that I never forget anything. And I always say, man, that presentation to the Kazakh team was awesome. So everything is carefully organized. My daily review, these are the things I go over, my goals, what's important, quotes that I've written down. This is my daily review, that just a little thing that I go through in the morning. And then I have a checklist for kite surfing, for making a smoothie, for any activity I'm doing, playing golf, playing tennis. I have a checklist to make sure I have all the things I need, so I always have a great experience. So this is the way my system is set up. It's very clean, very simple, and it's continually developing. Then what I do with that system is I do a review. This is the third point. Once a week, I go to like Starbucks or somewhere, and I spend time analyzing, looking at it, cleaning it up, 3S'ing it, and making it work very, very effectively for me. And this is a very important activity, and I just make sure I do this. I make it an event. It's very important. It's like 3S'ing my whole system. I sweep, sort, standardize, and I review it. This is what I do. Then we're done with our presentation. If you have any questions, let me know. We're going to meet outside at approximately 2:45, and everyone be ready with the proper clothes, your drink, get your coffee, get whatever you want to get. And then I need everyone to help me put this little cafeteria back exactly the way I found it. This is a picture of what it looks like. So that ends our intro presentation. That gives you a nice overview for the translator on what you're going to be up against. And I won't speak this quickly, but at least you'll know approximately what I'm going to say.